I want to bring in Republican Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt, also former state attorney general. Good to have you. Look, there's been some discussion this morning. I brought it up too. The federal death penalty is something that President Trump brought back on January 20th. It was one of the first things he did. Pam Bondi talked about looking at this case and investigating if that would apply. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, my condolences and my heart goes out to the families of this young couple whose lives were taken away way too soon. My understanding is that they were going to get engaged next week. It's just a terrible tragedy. They worked at the embassy, were at the museum. This should have never happened. But yeah, I think all the elements present themselves here for a death penalty case if it were to be pursued. It's just it's a vicious murder. I mean, the reports are that that this guy, who's been radicalized and a pro-Hamas terrorist, laid in wait and murdered this couple execution style, and then wanted to be caught. Sat there and chanted "Free Palestine." I mean, it's really a chilling episode, and so our hearts go out to the families. But this is, again, I think, this radicalization of this kind of desire by the pro-Hamas groups to sort of globalize the Intifada, and it's dangerous stuff, and it's here on American soil, and we ought to be concerned.
So talk to me about the timing of this, because it seems like under former President Biden, and no one's blaming him for today's murder, but this festered on his watch to the point where we're entering a second year of this on these college universities, most of them Ivy Leagues here on the East Coast, of Jewish hate. I mean, take a look at this. These protesters showed up outside Columbia University's graduation yesterday. I mean, police were arresting people. They burned diplomas, chanted aggressive slogans. We know they hate Jews in America and Israel. But they keep telling us. This week, Secretary of State Marco Rubio defended the Trump administration's policy of revoking student visas for those disrupting college campuses and says more of that is coming.
A visa is not a right. It is a privilege. People apply for student visas to come into the United States and study. And if you tell me that you're coming to the United States to lead campus crusades, to take over libraries and try to burn down buildings and acts of violence, we're going to continue to revoke the visas of people who are here as guests and are disrupting our higher education facilities.
Senator, first your reaction to that.
Secretary Rubio is right. The visas are a privilege. And there can be no room here for the kind of violence we're seeing, the taking over of buildings, the tent cities that they're establishing to disrupt classes. And it's just, I think, Harris, it's also important to point out, this is much deeper. This is an ideology that has taken root now, and it's not just at these elite institutions. This sort of cultural Marxism, where you divide the room by oppressor and oppressed, and somehow, some way, in this world they've devised, that Jews or Israel should be wiped off the face of the earth is incredibly dangerous. These colleges have coddled this kind of mentality for far too long. We need more of them to speak out and say, this is hate. This is, this is wrong. And by the way, but they're trapped, and they don't want to speak out because so many on the left have pushed this for so long now. They've captured a lot of these institutions, and you're seeing it. We saw the protest after October 7th, these kind of chants, the river to the sea, essentially to murder Jews and Christians. I mean, it's crazy stuff, but it's much deeper than just the last few years. This is part of an ideology that's been pushed by the left now for over a decade. Real
quickly, on Capitol Hill, I mean, you're there, Senator. There are Jews in the Senate. I'm thinking of Chuck Schumer. Where are these people as this has been festering and getting worse and getting more violent and all of it? They've chimed in a couple of times, but come on, they could lead the cry for help on this one.
Right. Everybody needs to speak out on stuff like this. But I will tell you that the pro-Hamas wing of the Democrat Party is real, and it's growing. And so the Democrats are really in a tough spot here. They shouldn't be. But Chuck Schumer, I mean, it's the ridiculous stuff that Chuck Schumer is doing right now to prove he's the chief resistor of President Trump is really embarrassing for him when he should be spending his time speaking out on stuff like this.
Yeah, and speaking of that resistance, liberals really are obsessed with stopping President Trump, particularly when it comes to an adjacent issue to this, because we literally don't still know who Biden let into this country, millions of them.
Right.
And they're pushing against the president using lawfare with his illegal immigration policies in the middle. He's already deported 8 illegal immigrant criminals to South Sudan. And a federal judge just ruled the White House violated his order that illegal immigrants must be allowed to challenge their removal to third countries. Those criminals were convicted of severe crimes such as murder, sexual assault, robbery. Those found guilty of murder had active deportation orders for decades, Senator, with going as far back on one of them to 1999. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin here.
No country on earth wanted to accept them because their crimes are so uniquely monstrous and barbaric. It is absolutely absurd for a district judge to try to dictate the foreign policy and national security of the United States of America. These are the monsters that the district judge is trying to protect.
I mean, it seems like we should all agree on this as Americans.
Yeah, I think the Democrats have a warped sense of who victims are, right? They're not fighting for victims. They're fighting for these terrorists, these criminals. They're having margaritas down in El Salvador with these people. It's totally insane. But the good news is, I think at the end of the day, President Trump is going to be successful of his goal of deporting the worst of the worst and more, because mass migration needs to be met with mass deportations, and that's what we should be doing. Actually, I filed a bill this week with Senator Moody from Florida, who is also an attorney general, to expand the expedited removal process. Right now, if you're here for less than 2 years, you don't need to see a judge. An immigration official can get you out without that kind of judicial review, and we want to expand that. So if you've been convicted of a felony, if you're part of a terrorist organization, you're part of a gang, guess what? We're going to identify you and you're gone. So I think we need to have more tools in the toolbox, but the ones President Trump has right now, he's exercising them. As these cases make their way through the courts, I think he's largely going to be successful. It's frustrating to see some of these individualized district court decisions, but in the long run, President Trump is going to fulfill his campaign promise of mass deportations.
I appreciate so much you telling us about that bill. I mean, you're giving the president more tools now. You and the former AG in Florida, Moody, now also a fellow senator. Thank you for that. Thanks for joining me today in Focus.
Great to be with you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.